this is Solid Driver, and we're talking about driver don'ts today. And this is going to be part one of a series. So as I come up with more, or as you guys suggest more driver don'ts, I'll be putting out more videos. So we'll do 5 of these at a time and hopefully pass on some good information to new drivers or even experienced drivers who maybe haven't thought of some of this stuff. Now, I'm trying to skip the obvious things, obviously don't beat the crap out of your passenger kind of stuff. This is stuff that maybe you haven't thought about. It's also things that could occur at any time while you're driving. These are rules that I follow every day while I'm driving at all times. This is the kind of stuff that at any moment could occur and you have to make a judgment call. Do I do the thing or don't? Without having these rules in mind in your head, you might just proceed. And there are times when you shouldn't. You should check yourself. So, without further ado, number 1 in this video, don't drive anywhere without a destination. Now, what does that mean? That means, in short, don't just be driving aimlessly around. Strategically, that's terrible. Don't pretend to be a taxi. You're not driving up and down the streets looking for ride hails. That's not our job. We're rideshare. You can park somewhere strategically, but park somewhere. So if you find yourself driving along and you don't have a destination in mind, you don't know where you're going, you're just cruising, you need to pull over, or you need to immediately figure out where the hell you're going because you're just wasting gas. Just like any business, this gig is about maximizing your profits, but even more importantly is minimizing your expenses. And fuel is your biggest expense by far. Driving aimlessly, no go. You need to cut that out. If that's something you're doing often, you need to cut it out. You need to pull over, look on your map, and figure out where to position yourself to get the next ping. Okay, number 2 in this video, don't linger after dropping off a passenger. And this is to prevent being creepy or being questionable or threatening. When you drop off a passenger, particularly in a residential area, if you're in front of their house, you drop them off, you need to leave. If you're sitting there, 10 minutes go by and they're looking out their window and your ass is still there, that's not cool. You need to be gone. We just talked about not going somewhere without a destination. So in this case, your destination, if you don't have somewhere in mind already, get your ass around the corner. Go down the street. Get out of that person's line of sight. You don't want to be sitting there. That's just creepy. Okay, number 3 in this video. Don't drive with less than a quarter tank of gas. Now, personally, I start getting the heebie-jeebies when I get down to a half tank. I like to fill up at half tank. But, you might be somewhere far out. Maybe the gas prices suck where you are, whatever the case is. But under a quarter tank, you need to get gas. You have no idea if your next trip is going to be to the next city or to a distant airport or whatever the case. Don't drive with under quarter tank. Preferably don't drive under half a tank. Now, to me, this is obvious, but I hear again and again and again from passengers telling me they were on a horrible trip and their driver had to stop at a gas station and they're on the way trying to catch a flight and time was critical and the driver had to stop at a gas station. That is completely uncalled for. Any driver having to stop for gas with a passenger in the car, and unless it's like unless you're traveling to another state or something, that is absolutely not cool. Number 4, don't flash the cash or valuables. And this applies to daily life. If your tip cup is starting to overflow and it's looking a little lucrative for someone else, even a passenger or someone who may just reach through your window or whatever the case is, you need to pocket some of that. You need to stick it in your wallet or whatever secure place you have. Personally, I keep about $10 to $15 in my tip cup. I think beyond that, it starts getting a little risky depending on where you are and the time of day and that sort of thing. So use a little common sense and your best judgment. Don't have loose valuables laying around in your car either. Again, this should be obvious, but I have to tell people all the time, don't leave this stuff in your car. And this applies even outside of the rideshare world. Don't leave a purse, a wallet, a cell phone, even a headset laying around in your car. Even if you're in the car still, someone can reach into that passenger side window or the back window and snatch that up, and they'll be gone before you have a chance to even get out of your car. On that note, number 5, don't put valuables in the glove box. As rideshare drivers, we often have people in the front passenger seat, and it's not uncommon for them to open your glove box. Now, I personally have not had this happen, but I've heard it many, many, many times from other drivers that for whatever reason, maybe they're drunk or just stupid, but they will open the glove box. If they find money, a revolver, whatever the heck you got in there, that could end badly. So just don't do it. Don't have valuables accessible to the passengers in your vehicle. Anything of value should either be on your person, maybe in the driver door, or in a secured enclosure. Alright guys, that's it for this one. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you want to see more, hit the subscribe button. And if you have something to contribute, I would love to see your comments down below. If you have more driver don'ts or any other topic you want to talk about, go ahead and talk about it. It's a free world or whatever. Myself and anyone else who happens to be watching can chime in and give their input. Maybe you don't like something I said, maybe you disagree, or maybe you totally agree and you just want to share your support. So write some comments, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I will see you next time here on Solid Driver.